Hey everybody, welcome back to the 5-Pin channel and welcome back to another 5-Pin video. In today's video, we're going to touch on the Newfoundland Provincial Open and more specifically my performances, or performance I guess in this case, and just to kind of give you a rundown on how things go in Newfoundland. So we do a provincial roll-off a couple weeks earlier than most places. We've been done for a couple weeks now, and we do all of our singles qualifying the first day. 5 games, lunch break, another 5 games, and then Stepladder right after. It is all done before a team ball is even thrown. And coming from Southern Ontario, this is a bit of a switch for me, and I really like this format. I really like how it was done. It's kind of nice to kind of get everything out of the way. You don't have that in the back of your mind. If you're playing in the Stepladder, you don't have in the back of your mind while you're bowling teams and, you know, kind of like what might happen and trying to play out scenarios. It's all done with, and I really like how that's set up. Anyway, another, I guess, important piece of information for the singles specifically is that in Newfoundland, we can buy our spots. If you didn't finish in the top 3, like my whole team of 6 bowlers were all bowling. We all bowled in the singles event. And just because of, you know, like we don't have a whole lot of zones, and in order to fill the field and make it a really good event, you know, if they just did the top 3 bowlers in the men's and ladies division, well, I guess they couldn't even do it for the ladies division because they did the team qualifying. So that setup was a little bit different as well. But for the men, you know, there wouldn't be that many players, and this way they fill the field a little bit. And if you've watched previous videos, you know that I finished 6th, so I am one of those people who bought into a spot. So I'm going to do a quick rundown of just kind of like the happenings, and then I'm going to show the bowling. I'm just going to talk over the bowling. I've found that this is the most preferred way that I do videos, just at least with people that I've talked to and just getting their input. This is the most preferred way to have me talking while I'm bowling and not bowling and then do talking, because I do like to talk. But you will notice that at the beginning, you know, I'm filming with my own stuff, and then it's going to switch over to the actual live stream footage. I just took clips off of the Newfoundland 5-Pin live stream. And I just felt like that was the best way to do it. I kind of got on a roll in one of the games, and it was like 3 or 4 frames in, and I realized like I hadn't done any of the filming for that game. And then I'm very superstitious, so I was kind of torn on whether I should start doing the videos, start filming again, and I just decided not to. I just figured the best way would be to cover the games off of the live stream, and then I would have to worry about it. And it's really hard to like, I try to be as, I guess, subtle with doing the filming as possible, and I don't have like a big camera or anything. Now I'm just filming from my phone. I think it's the best way to do it. So I just kind of try and set it up out of the way, out of sight. But, you know, like sometimes that gets a little hard to do too. So I really need to figure out a game plan on doing filming in the future when I get back on the lanes. But we're going to do 2-part videos. So part A, we're going to do singles. The next video will come out probably a couple of days after this one, will be teams. Part A, lots of fun, lots of bowling. Part B, we're going to have to talk about that one. Not nearly as fun, not nearly as much bowling. And but I do think it's a very important video for me to put out. We'll talk about that anyway. So let's get into it. 5 games, lunch break, 5 games, Stepladder if I make it, and let's see what happens. Okay, so here we go. We're starting with Ebonite Pro Lines, as you can see by my fancy graphic that I learned how to do in this video. Throwing 3-step approach, hand under the ball. I think this is important because this will change as the tournament goes along, this event anyway. And yeah, I'm throwing a really good ball to start. Game plan is really just concentrate on making sure the next ball is my most important ball, and that I execute everything. And to stay low in the lane, I get asked a lot if doing YouTube videos, actually makes things a little harder, like it distracts me or harder to concentrate and stuff like that. I actually find it's the other way around. I spend a lot of time watching video of myself bowling more than I really would like to ever really watch. But and I find a lot of things that I do wrong, and it helps me kind of correct that as we go along. So if you're, one of those people that are considering watching yourself bowling to see where problems might arise, if I could just offer one tip, I would say that film yourself when you're bowling well, but film yourself when you're not bowling well too. I think people have a tendency to like to watch videos when they're bowling well and not necessarily when they're not bowling well. And I think it's important. But you'll notice here, I am switching from my Ebonite Pro lines, and I am moving on to a different ball. I am throwing the Soft Roll, the Lab. It's our test ball that I'm currently working with right now, I should say. And the one thing about this ball, and you'll notice even from watching this video, you're going to notice that I'm going from left pocket into right pocket exclusively now. And that is because this ball moves so much. And what I'm trying to do is, I find that when I'm making my mistakes and I'm missing my spot, I'm not missing the head pin, if that makes sense. I am punching the head pin like crazy. So I'm throwing a ball that actually moves a lot more. So I actually carry across. And what I want to do is I want my mistakes to miss, like this here. And then it gives me the opportunity to make spares as opposed to pinning out head pins like this shot here. And I feel like it's really important. And that's something we get harped on about, hitting the head pin all the time. And sometimes we forget that spares are really important too. And if you can get a pitch out spare, that's better than pinning out a head pin. One thing I will say, I am going to switch off of this and it'll be to the live stream here shortly. And the good thing with that is you can kind of see my scores. After 5 games, I have 1307, which is, on the surface, a pretty good score, but this house scores really well. Plaza Bowl is a really well-scoring house. And 1307 puts me, just to kind of give you a perspective, like I said, all 6 bowlers on my team, on my men's team, were bowling in this event. And I was the lowest on my men's team after 5 games by 100 pins. So despite me bowling well, it just shows you, like, so many guys are bowling really well. And I have to make adjustments. So I switch back after lunch, and I go back to throwing the pro lines. I've switched to 4-step, harder to see on the live stream because I'm kind of out of the picture when I first start my approach. So you can't quite pick up on that. And I'm putting my hand on the side of the ball now. It gives me a little different rotation. And I'm finding a groove. If you look at this game here, absolutely rolling. I think this game is really important to mention. Take a little moment to explain this. Like I said, I'm bowling really well at the start. And I go split in 7, go head pin in 8, strike in 9. And I'm throwing a head pin here in 10. I ended up with 268. And the start that I had, and then where I ended up, a lot of people will look at it like a completely lost opportunity. And all I did in this situation, maybe a little bit out of character for myself even, I told myself, I'm throwing a great shot. My split, I kind of leaned in the shot. I pulled the ball a bit, and it just came in a little too tight. And I just told myself, just stick with the process and keep throwing a good ball. The next game, which I didn't have any video on, I actually started the front 6 or 7, 375, and I'm back in it. And this is game number 10. And I've given myself a fighting chance. If I throw a good game, get a little bit of help, I can backdoor making this stepladder. And this is where, kind of, like I said, sticking to my game plan, throwing great shots, just making sure every ball is, the next ball is the most important shot, making my spares because pinners are winners, I guess, and making the most out of every opportunity that I got to see if I can make it into this stepladder. And coming from someone who is 100 sticks lower than anyone else on my team after 5, if I can roll this into a stepladder performance, in my mind, I have nothing to lose because, game 6, game 6 was in even worse shape. I had 213 game 6. And, I could have written this whole performance off, but if if I'm anything, I'm a grinder, and I get on a roll here and put myself in a good position to like I said, backdoor a stepladder performance. And if you ain't playing, you have no chance to win. And I don't care where I finish. If I can make it in the stepladder, if I can make it into the stepladder, I have a chance to win. And that is the goal right now. So working on a spare going into 9, throw a great shot. I am getting good pin action. I'm throwing, really good rotation on my ball. Things are really rolling. 10th frame, this is my tournament. If I can just throw some good shots, get some decent count here. I don't know at this time what anyone else is doing, but take the most out of my opportunity, get as most pins as possible. I figure if I can get a 300 here, I was in good shape. So I spare, put it on the side, aces, the happiest you'll ever see me get aces. And I make the stepladder. And my prize for making the stepladders, bowling Shane Chafe. And that is not an easy task in this house. And we both start out, and I would say out of everybody, I'm probably the most comfortable around Shane than a lot. Kind of like, I wouldn't say the same personality, but like the same kind of demeanor on things. And we're having some fun. We're both starting out on strikes. If you're watching, if you want to watch a singles match, I think this is something you want to see, where guys are kind of having a little bit of fun with it, but they're also throwing, absolute bombs. I will make note here. I'm on 3 in a row from the start, throw the 4th shot. And here's where I want to make the note. I break out the bazooka when I let this one go. You can't quite see it, but boom, there we go. Front 5. Shane comes up, not intimidated one bit. He throws the 5th. We are rolling. In a situation like this, I try not to think about too much about what my opponent's doing. I'm not concerned about when he's on the front 4 or the front 5. I've only ever had one perfect game bowled against me in match play. So I'm going to get chances as we go along, and it's just, about making the best of opportunities, like throwing a 7 count on a head pin. And I might as well just pack up and leave because pinners are winners, and I was terrible there. But Shane comes back, throws some shots. We have a match coming home. The one thing that I've noticed with the bowlers in Newfoundland, when they have choice in the match in the 10th frame, they all like to go first, and this is a benefit for me. I love going last. I mean, give me the chance to throw the shot to win the game. I absolutely love that moment. I don't always succeed in that moment, but I absolutely live for it. And I feel like if I have the opportunity to throw the last shot, I actually have the advantage. And this is something that, like I said, I've noticed a lot of bowlers have done in Newfoundland, and this is the case here. Shane comes up. He's got to go 9-10, give some, like I said, a close match. He's got to throw some good shots. He throws a strike. He throws an absolute bomb here, and I've seen him carry this shot more times than I haven't, and he threw a chop, and, it could have easily been a strike. Makes the half, goes up, throws pretty much, the same thing, just on the other side of the head pin. It was a great shot. I've seen him carry that shot so many times. Chop, chop. And I have a chance to win this game. And like I said, I've got the ball in my hand. He's already done. He's got to watch me bowl now. If I can throw, 2 shots and some really good count, I can win this game. I throw the first one, and then I throw the second, but it doesn't mean anything if I can't get the count on the 3rd ball. And in this situation, a repeatable process. I just tell myself the same things I did the shot before. I'm not thinking about trying to win the game. I'm just trying to throw the best shot I possibly can and just hope that it works out for me. And it did. And then my prize for winning that match is I get to bowl arguably the hottest bowler in Newfoundland, and then in Brandon Tibbs. And same idea, 2 guys that, I'm bowling a guy who he knows how to get it done. And like I said, he's probably the hottest bowler in Newfoundland, and he's got quite a bit of experience. So it's not like you're bowling a 5-man stepladder in something like this. You're not going to get any easy victories. That is for sure, and definitely not the case here. And Brandon does the same thing. He elects to finish the 10th frame first, and I feel like if it comes down to it, that's going to be a benefit for me because, like I said, I absolutely love throwing that shot when I need to with the game on the line, and everyone just has to watch and they can't do anything about it. So we are fighting. Brandon goes double, open, just misses here. The one thing that I've noticed with Tibbs is, like, if he misses, like, he is the guy that he will miss and make the spare more times than not, and he's just adding up his score. I'm carrying on from the match before where I'm just throwing a really good ball, probably the best ball I've thrown all year. I have told people that since we moved to Newfoundland, this was actually the first moment that I felt like myself on the lanes, and I think it shows even on video. You can definitely tell. If you've watched some previous videos, it's been a little bit horrendous at times, and I feel like a different I feel like myself for the first time since we've moved, and obviously the first time this season. So I've got myself a little bit of momentum. He's trying to find it, but if I've learned anything in the short time that I've been out here in this province, I need to stack as many pins as possible, because despite me having the lead, in the sixth frame, I know that Tibbs is not done yet, and you can't just run from a guy like this and expect you're not gonna steamroll anybody. Most of the time. And I know that if I give him a chance, and I do right here, that he's going to come thundering back, and the momentum shifts just like that. And he's working on a spare. He's got some ground to gain, but he can do it quick. I mean, he's the guy that just goes up and goes bang, bang, and throws two great shots. And guess what? We're in a match again. And I'm just trying to make sure that I'm throwing the same great shots that I did before. Throw a bad ball here and there. It's going to happen, right? And just make sure that every shot, give myself a chance. And I thought that ball was good, and it just stuck there, and going to have to try and pin it and hope for the best. And 13 count, not too bad. Tibbs goes up, bowls his 9th and 10th. Of course, he throws a strike. That's what he does. I mean, he just throws absolute bombs when he needs to. And I was sitting here looking at like 3-pin. Okay, we're good. He's not sparing that. But guess what? He spares those two. And he goes up, throws his last shot. Tight cracker. That's what good rotation gets you. He's got 279. I just need a 30 count and 10. And I just got to throw this first good shot. Now I just need something spareable. So I'm going to try and put it on the side of the head. I'm not going to change anything that I did the frame before, the ball before. I'm going to throw the exact same ball. Guess what? That's it. And I just I think I throw a chop here. Yeah, power chop to finish. We're moving on to the next match. And I'm bowling Ray Dunphy, who is on my team. Funny note, I was talking about my team having, all 6 guys bowl on the team. Brandon Tibbs was the only guy that I bowled in the stepladder that wasn't on my team. And we had Brad Glynn finish 6th. Mike Maloney finished 9th. So you figure, like, that's a pretty strong stepladder from one team. But doing the same thing, there is an important moment in this game, and I wish it was a great important moment, and it is not. And I'm going to talk about it when we get to it. But kind of, I'm throwing such a good ball there that the live stream can't even keep up with it at this point. Not really, but I'm throwing such a good ball, and I'm feeling great. Like, I'm just going out and doing my thing. I'm not worried about crowd watching and really what my opponent's doing. I'm just, like I said before, I'm just concentrating on throwing the best shot I possibly can every single time. I'm not changing any way I'm thinking. I'm thinking the same things when I get up in the lane, doing a pre-shot routine, reminding myself the same things over and over and over again. And when I do that, I'm not worried about what my score is or if I'm on 5 or 6 in a row. I'm just worried about making sure that the next ball was as good or better than the last ball. And I go on a bit of a roll here. And this is the moment right here, actually. And I don't really show it, but probably because it was a key moment in the game where I kind of, like, I don't want to say I clinched it, but it was an important shot for me. I felt something in my wrist, and You know, I'm getting to the age where things start hurting from time to time. And I didn't really think of much of it at the time, but I go and throw ninth frame and it hurts. Throw the 10th frame, like it's there. It's definitely there. And I'm like, no big deal. Like I'm still throwing a great ball. Pain will subside. We'll be all right. So I go absolutely off, bowl 372. And then I have to bowl in the finals. I get a bowl Brandon Smith, as we affectionately know him as Smitty. So ladies match gets done first. We had to wait. If anyone knows me really well, one of my biggest arch nemesis in bowling is the bye or a break. And I don't quite have the same stuff on my ball. If I could go back and think about like what I would have done differently in this situation, I think I would have managed time differently. And what I mean by that is like I just kind of went up there and bowled. Sometimes when I'm bowling in a match play, I'll speed up or slow down depending on what my opponent's doing. So like if Smitty goes up and he throws a double, I will take forever to bowl my 2 frames. And if he opens 2 frames in a row, I am on that lane before he throws his 3rd ball, and trying to get him back out there. What I want to do is I want to get him to not have time to think about what he was doing wrong. And if he's bowling really well, I want to slow it down so he doesn't remember what he's doing well. You know what I mean? So kind of anticlimactic here. Like I can't get off the head pin, and this is where things went wrong because, like I said before, my goal was to miss on my mistakes and not hit more on my mistakes, and that is exactly what happens here. I just can't find the side of the head pin, and I think maybe I'm getting a little bit tired too. That doesn't help. Smitty, he's once he starts doing that hop, you're in trouble. He just doesn't stop throwing strikes, and he absolutely just hammers me. I make it close in the 10th to make it look kind of respectable, but hats off to Brandon Smith. He is our representative for nationals for Newfoundland in 2024 for men's singles. And honestly, not a better guy. He is absolutely loved in this province, and for good reason. He's one of my favorite people, to be honest with you. If you know Smitty, you know his intensity and how much he loves bowling. So to see him win and be champion, yeah, not a bad thing. I'll take second for that for sure. So anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you really enjoyed the video. Like I said, next video coming out will be about teams. Keep an eye out for that video. Thanks for watching.